spoken about. So the Buddha, taught the noble truths that what we don't realize is that everything around us is causing us dukkha or suffering. But the good news is that there is a cause for that suffering. So he taught the cause for suffering. So before you can get out of suffering, you actually have to first of all admit that you are suffering. You have to realize, people say, oh no, I'm okay. You've got to admit, oh, I need help. I need to work. I need to go to someone who knows the answer. So if I'm sick, I need to go to a doctor. And that there is a cause for suffering. And you need to discover that cause. And if you work hard, you will discover that cause, and it is called craving. Okay? But also, the other good news is there is a possible end to suffering. You can get to a state where dukkha does not arise. Otherwise, there would not be any point in pointing out to people that everything is suffering. It's just depressing if you were to say that to people and say, well, and people, philosophies, like, who's the famous guy? Jung. Carl Jung. Did have a bit of an impressive, he says, I think he called it the existential angst. And he sort of said that at our root, we are constantly sort of anxious. And he had no solution. He had no answer to that. He recognized the problem, but he just didn't know the solution. So in a way, it's no good pointing it out. But the Buddha said there is a solution, which is the third noble truth, that there is an end to suffering. And not only that, there is a path. You can get there. So there's a path that you can tread, and if you do these exercises, you too will see. First of all, you'll see the cause, and then you'll overcome the cause, and then without causes, the condition, which is samsara, will not arise. So you will not have dukkha. And so you need to continuously search for this cause for awakening. So you're on the lookout for these causes. And one of the keys is this mutual dependency. It's this, Shariputra said, it's the two sheaves of wheat leaning on each other. So this is dependent on that. That's dependent on this. And therefore, if you see through that dependency, then you can see through the end to dukkha, as we talked about with the two poles. And one of the keys is this subject-object relationship. If there is always an object, then we have to chase after the object and try and get the object. But we can never really bring it into ourselves because we are not an object, and an object and a non-object can't really meet. So, but nevertheless, he says it's like two sides of a whirlpool. One feeds the other, which feeds the other, which feeds the other, and it's just this whirlpool, which again is like samsara. It's this churning of a pool that goes round and round and round. So the mind feeds the object, and the object feeds the mind. There cannot be an object without a mind, and there cannot be a mind without an object. And whilst you consider duality, there's always going to be a problem. And that problem is grasping due to craving. And grasping involves a past or a future image of something. So interestingly, grasping has to involve a future that you're trying to get to, or a future that you're trying to get to, or a past that you would like to get back to, or a present that you want to escape, and you escape into the future or the past. So therefore, we're naturally grasping at something that doesn't exist, because it's clear the past and the future don't exist. But if we want to try to get into the future or get into the past, then we're grasping at something that naturally doesn't exist. And of course we're suffering, because you cannot grasp at something that doesn't exist without suffering, because you can't get it. So these are really the key insights that the Buddha would like us to take on. Now, with that grasping, it manifests in two ways: aversion and attachment. So whenever you see aversion and attachment, you know that you're grasping. But interestingly, these things are flip sides of the same coin. Because if you analyze, if you analyze aversion, I don't like this, subtly in your mind, unconsciously, it's because you want this. And if you really want this, it's because you're avoiding this. You see, so wherever there's grasping, wherever there's attachment, there's always aversion, and whenever there's aversion, there is always hidden attachment. These two things are they're the same thing, but depending on which side you're looking at. And if you're careful, you can see both sides. So understanding that aversion and desire, we'd say, oh no, but I want the things I want the desirable things. But actually, there is implicit that if you go after what you desire, aversion is there in the background. It has to be, because it's made up of the same things. And we must see it more than just intellectually. That's the problem. Is we've had this discussion on an intellectual here at retreat, but will it affect our lives? Well, it won't until you get it into your bones. Okay? So we need to see it more than just intellectually. And in order to do that, we need to do it in the moment on stuff that is happening to us right now. It's no good hypothesizing. Well, if emptiness is true, then if there was a person that saw this, and we do those to get a bit used to it, but in order for you to take it into your system, it has to be done on an issue that is occurring to you right here and now. So you need to be and these, of course, are happening all the time. So you need to be on the lookout for whenever dukkha arises, whenever contraction arises, and do these processes and practices then and there in that moment. And then it impresses on the unconscious mind and becomes part of your system. It's no good just doing it hypothetically. So whenever there's a fear or a distraction or a thought, that's when you do it. And you should do this in conjunction with samadhi. So one of the reasons if it's not working is your mind is too scattered, and so rather than either blaming the insight practice or thinking I'm hopeless, one of the things that you can do is stop the insight practice and just try to get some sort of collectedness of mind, and then try the remedy again. Okay? So it has to be done in conjunction. The more samadhi you have, the more likely it will work. Yeah, and then I guess that leads on to say that if your interest has been ignited by this weekend, then you may spend the next many years investigating this topic as I have done, to try to get to the root of it and to try to get it to a point where you can see it clearly for yourself. And and then for those of you who are not in the program, that's what we try to do in the mentor program from different points of view. And we don't just use one way to do it, we do it through many ways. And for those of us who are in the program, I hope you're excited, because what we're going to do is a completely new, different way of looking at this stuff to help us achieve at the end the same end, which is a very rigorous study of people from all different traditions who have become enlightened. That includes, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, non-religious people, many non-religious people, intellectuals, ordinary people, and try to find collectively what are the common things that these people are interested in, that these people have that cause them to be awakened. And so you can imagine, in one tradition, there's a possibility that there's a lot of bias towards their particular doctrine. But if you look at what's common across many people all around the world, then if there's some commonalities there, then those are clearly the sort of seem to be the grist, the more important things. So that's what's exciting about this research, is that we know that these things must work because they work across, multiple cultures. Yes, so I'm excited about the next few months, as I hope you are. And thank you for coming along to this retreat. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope it was fun. It's not meant to be, if you take it too seriously, it doesn't actually work as well as if you take it seriously but also have some fun with it. So go ahead and have some fun with it and keep up the I'm not there jokes.
Good luck with your partners. Don't worry about it, love. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And yeah, obviously we'll stay
Don't
in
worry, I
touch
don't
and
exist.
I look forward to
So
your
darling.
I'm not here.
silly
Don't
jokes
remember.
and your
Don't worry.
tales
I'm
of
home, not here.
tales of success into the future.
Thank you, Peter.
It's great. Thank you, Peter. It's very, very enlightening. There's stuff there I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I like that.